Skif, now on SIRCAA's doorstep, had a dilemma. Does he heed Strider's warning and help him infiltrate the Institute? Or does he just side with the ward and take the money? If the Wish Granter really is here, this could spell bad news for not only the zone, but the mainland as well. He knows one thing for sure though. He must pick a side, and soon.
And so, as Skif approached the entrance to the SIRCAA Institute, he felt both excitement and fear in his heart. Will they just gun him down the second he walks in the door, or will they be happy to see him? This is the RPG Loner, and welcome to episode 8 of my Stalker 2 series.
Is that him? Give it to me. We need to run compatibility tests. Check everything is all right. Oh, yes. Of course. You must be tired. Oh, here. Here's the key to my room. I'm sleeping in my study either way. Don't worry about your reward. You'll get it. In fact, someone would like to talk to you as soon as we've completed all the necessary tests. Have some rest, and get yourself cleaned up. My colleagues promised me a surprise for my birthday. I wish I knew what it was. Guess you'll have to tell me. Enjoy it! Come on! Really? Thank you!
Here, walk through the metal detector.
Warning, Associate Professor
Alright.
Havrish.
So far so good, Skif thought to himself as he approached the metal detector. He had a room key in his pocket and was welcomed at the door. Now curiosity built in Skif as he decided to take a look around.
Warning, a mission imminent. All staff and guests of the Institute.
Damn, now I'm going to end up with a migraine again, and I've got reports to fill.
Skif decides to have a quick chat with these
What else did you
scientists
expect?
before checking out
Got
his
any
room.
questions? I've been working with the specimens in cryptobiology for the past month. I hoped I'd get used to it, but no way. I ended up having nightmares about those mutants. That's when I had to request a transfer to a different department. Goodbye.
Let's pick up. I had no idea stalkers were so sociable. Anomalous energy. That should be our primary focus. Unfortunately, we can't fully comprehend anomalous energy yet, but our determination will ultimately prevail. It's only a matter of time.
Supposed to know it
By
was
the
going
way,
to happen right
the
away.
emission shielding was also
Unlike
designed
you,
by yours
I don't
truly.
consider fortune
It was
telling a
based on the
scientific
results. All credit
Skif
to them.
availed himself of the facilities and helped himself to the freebies,
Not alone in that matter.
treating himself to a nice can of
Unfortunately, he just
condensed
vanished
milk,
into
which
thin
as
air.
we know is caviar in the zone, before washing it down with a lovely bottle of Kozak's vodka. Just what he needs to get him into the mood to talk to these eggheads.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess. Vavilov, head of the Anomaly Research Lab. What can I do for you, Stalker?
What's the Caribbean experiment?
You seem surprisingly well informed about scientific developments for a stalker. The experiment attempted to affect an object located in the Earth's other hemisphere via a sea field. It was carried out back in 1995. That's when the first Alpha artifact came into being. The second experiment took place in 2019, Some call it a total failure, but I beg to differ. Even a failure can yield results if you know where to find them.
What do you know about the generators?
I know quite a lot, but I can't tell you everything. What you need to understand is that they make it possible to connect to the noosphere, the informational field surrounding the Earth. The energy we call anomalous comes from the noosphere. Its effect on matter is what created the zone itself. Artifacts and anomalies are all the result of anomalous energy affecting our world. Particularly intense surges of this energy are known as emissions.
I'd like to know more about the scanners.
If Herman were here, he could explain it better than me. After all, it was his project. He was trying to obtain the Alpha by using the scanners to recharge spent artifacts. Regrettably, his efforts were in vain, and Dr. Darlin decided to prioritize the more promising artifact farm. Hope to see you around.
So Skif learned a number of things there, one being that C radiation seems to be what all this is revolving around, and it is. As he was making his way through the zone, he was encountering psychic beings, but now it's all starting to make sense. But another thing he just learned was that Dr. Herman, the man who got Skif into the zone and armed him with the scanner to recharge the artifact that destroyed his apartment, was in fact in charge of the artifact project, the scanner project, while Dr. Dallin was in charge of the more promising artifact farm where he was attempting to grow them. But it was in fact Dr. Dallin who bum rushed Skif at the front door, so a bit interesting. But anyways, Skif now is gonna check out this room that he's been given for the night, as he has had quite a long day, so gonna check out this suite. So as the intercom system had suggested, there is in fact a mission occurring, but Skif at the moment is getting a very, very unique view of an emission and a very clear view. Upon reading this note stuck up on this window here, we find out that this window is in fact Dr. Dallin's birthday present from his staff, and it's the latest breakthrough in emission technology. But anyways, let's have a quick look around here in Dr. Dallin's penthouse. Got a nice little kitchen area, some plants in the hall. I'm just going to head up here now, check out the bedroom. Quite spacious and bright, a lot of natural light. Skif decides to slip into something a bit more comfortable before continuing on his little tour. And this must be Dr. Dallin's office. I'm sure that sounds familiar, Skif thought to himself. Skif continues looking around Dallin's office and has a quick look at his pictures, but he did find an old clipping from a newspaper article, which he will look at later. But now we head to the kitchen for a spot of dinner. And yes, they do have cans of condensed milk, which is, as everybody knows, the caviar of the zone. So before tucking into his dinner, Skif does read the clipping from the Science Journal, and it seems to be Dallin doing an interview making a controversial statement about some presumed tragedy that he thinks is actually beneficial. However, Skif has no interest in such matters, as he is a recluse and he does not read the news. So after a lovely condensed milk dinner, Skif decides to head to bed, as soon as he wakes up, the sooner he'll know what's next. But now, he will enjoy a well-deserved rest.
Skif, come in. Are you there yet? See if you can get to the labs and find out about the monolith. I'm counting on you, Stalker.
They've got some serious security here, Strider.
I know. That's why it was crucial for you to get there. My men outside are looking for a way in. The monolith is an evil no one should ever exploit. Please, help us.
So Skif heads downstairs to find out what's next.
Our time and our comfort. We've toiled tirelessly for this very moment. This will...
Damn it, we are late.
I'm still waiting, Skif. I hope you had a good night's sleep, Skif. We're on the brink of the most important event in human history. And I want you to be there to witness it up close. After all, if you hadn't brought us the Alpha artifact, our artifact farm would still be looking for the key to the generators.
You can grow artifacts?
It's my primary project here. My pride and joy. We are capable of synthesizing artifacts that are identical to those that occur naturally within the zone. Regrettably, we were unable to replicate the Alpha artifact this way. But that doesn't matter anymore. We have the Alpha now. And it's all thanks to you.
What makes the Alpha artifact so special?
It possesses unique properties. The artifact is capable of converting electrical energy into a psi field. It's also incredibly rare. We've never found anything like it in the zone, nor have we been able to replicate it. And it's the only way to connect to the generators remotely.
The generators? What are those?
The zone doesn't just exist on its own. It possesses a center, a source. This source is located within the generators, an installation to the north of the CNPP. There's no way for us to get there, physically at least. However, we can establish a remote connection to the generators. That's where the Alpha comes into play. We can solve the energy crisis, reach the outer limits of the solar system, expand our horizons in the study of physics. Your discovery is going to change the world, Skif.
Confinement breach detected in the cryptobiology lab. Initiating Aegis protocol in Sector C. Please remain calm and have a nice day.
Damn! Aegis means an uncontrolled anomalous exposure. That means a shutdown for all labs. How are we supposed to test the Alpha now? Wait for a special dispensation from the Colonel? How long will it take? Even with all their gadgets, the ward can only handle anomalous phenomena in controlled lab environments. Against something like this, we're talking days, at least.
What kinds of toys?
Advanced weapons and ammunition. They've already been tested on live subjects. Seems like a misuse of our funding, if you ask me. Once we successfully establish a link to the generators, the zone will disappear, and none of this will be needed anymore.
At this rate, I'm gonna get bed sores from your penthouse couch. Maybe I can speed this up. Remember, the things I've seen in the zone were just as baffling and uncontrollable.
Are you suggesting we skip protocol and go full stalker on this? It could work. Look for Dr. Krivenko. He's probably at the ARL now. The cryptobiology lab is his domain. He'll point you in the right direction. But remember, this anomalous exposure isn't your typical zone activity. Our emission protection system has never failed us before.
So Skif learned that the artifact that destroyed his apartment was, in fact, the Alpha artifact. He also learned that Dalin's artifact farm was not capable of replicating the Alpha artifact, which explains why he bum rushed us so fast at the entrance to the SIRCAA Institute. He also learned that the Alpha artifact is capable of creating sea fields, and the only thing capable of letting them remotely connect to the generators. So we're heading down to these labs now to try and help. We don't know what's caused the external breach, but Skif has a feeling it may be something that Strider is cooking up, but at the same time, he doesn't know for sure. So we just keep going and we'll see what happens.
Anomaly research laboratory staff, please proceed to evacuation. Please leave your workstations within 5 minutes and proceed to the rally point. Make sure to arrive on time.
I am Dr. Krivenko, head of the Joint Cryptobiology and Psi-Medicine Laboratory. Follow me. A stalker at the Institute. That's a new one.
Various anomalies on display and seemingly under control, but we are here to deal with one that is not under control, so we'll chat to the scientist.
Do you know an anomaly has cropped up in cryptobiology? No? My colleagues over at ARL reviewed the footage, and they think it might be a spatial anomaly.
How often does this kind of emergency happen here?
Hardly ever. Our security protocols cover every scenario, so everything is always under control, especially when it comes to special projects.
What are you working on? I'd like to know what's in store for me there.
Simply put, we are studying the zone's various harmful effects, along with ways to protect against them. I am afraid you don't have the clearance for me to be any more specific than that.
Then how did the anomaly show up despite your security measures?
I have no idea. We have complete control over the appearance and behavior of the anomalies you see behind me. But that particular one developed outside the testing site. In theory, the Institute's emission defenses should have made it impossible. Maybe someone helped it manifest. Sabotage is the last thing we need right now.
All right, I'll go see what you've got there.
Here, take my gun. Korshunov issued these to all the lab managers, but I never thought anyone would actually need them. Professor Herman once mentioned that anomalies like this one always have an entrance and an exit. The cause of its sudden manifestation must lie on the other side. Due to the Aegis protocol, the regular entrances to my lab are sealed. The only way in is through the ventilation system. You'll find the engineering entrance outside, near the ARL building. Please be careful around the specimens of local fauna in the lab. They are quite valuable to our research.
So the only way for Skif to find a way to close this anomaly is to enter it and get to the other side, where he can find out what is causing it to manifest.
Why'd they let him in? First, they get all these wardens down here, then all staff have to evacuate. Now there's a stalker poking around. This is a research facility, not an amusement park.
So Skif tentatively headed towards the labs, wondering what he may encounter on the way, and hoped it wouldn't be too horrific, as he has had a gutful of that kind of thing. But he does stick his gas mask on as he notices everybody else is in PPE. And so, like many times before, Skif took the plunge into the darkness. Skif could sense danger ahead. Possibly not Skif's finest moment, but once again, as always, Skif gets the job done. It was then when Skif ran into another one of those creepy psychic wizards and had to battle in the basement. Finally, Skif dropped the beast, but he had a feeling that this wouldn't be the last bit of action he's going to encounter today. And Skif kinda creeped out, checked out the beast before harvesting his valuable mutant parts, before continuing on his search for the spatial anomaly in the labs. Oh boy, Skif thought to himself. And Skif knew what this was, his least favourite enemy in the zone, the talking cats, who are very hard to kill. Panic started to set in. So Skif fled and hoped the monster wouldn't follow him.
Attention. Preparing to initiate the Guardian program. The main purpose is to train the participant to face any dangers in the zone.
Something's
You're about to go through a series of challenges based on real combat experience.
Skif enters some sort of gauntlet designed to train soldiers for the zone, and still with the cat hot on his tail, he made his way through with haste. He then found himself in some sort of room with some sort of puzzle to discover, and all the while see radiation beacons beaming down, see radiation and mind-altering stuff. So shoots down this soldier, only to his surprise to find out that this soldier never existed in the first place. So he must get out of here quick because the effects of the radiation are starting to take hold. But after shooting out the beacons, he bought himself some valuable time to figure out the code. And on to the next one, Skif went. Skif passed the next test by dropping the bloodsucker and progressed again. What could be next? Of course, a room full of toxic gas. However, as always, Skif remained calm and once again got the job done. On to the next.
Program complete. Thank you for participating. Please wait for deactivation to complete.
So, Skif passed the gauntlet, and now, hopefully, he can get to this spatial anomaly at the top of the cryptobiology lab, and there she is. All we need to do now is enter, see what's on the other side, and close. So, in he goes. However, Skif is surprised and welcomed by a lovely gang of snorks, so he must take them out before proceeding. Once Skif killed the snorks, he could advance in the underground tunnels, but he was about to get more than he bargained for.
Skif, you made it here too. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised given what you went through to bring my scanner back to SIRCAA. I'd say I'm glad you made it through your first night in the zone. You probably wouldn't believe me.
You bastard. I thought you were dead, and you just took off.
What else was I supposed to do? Fight my way back to you? Things aren't as straightforward as they seem. Come on in, I'll open the door for you.
So Professor Herman, who was in charge of the scanner project and who got Skif into the zone, is alive. And presumably he is behind the spatial anomaly. But why? And what's he doing in this basement?
Don't worry, I won't leave you here. I feel like I owe you for that night. Besides, it looks like you've actually brought us the Alpha. This is my accomplishment, Skif, not Darlin's. The only thing that snot-nosed genius managed to achieve was watching the Second Caribbean experiment. And that's precisely when anomalies and artifacts too began cropping up outside the zone.
So you knew my artifact was the Alpha all along. Then why the act?
Do you realize the odds that out of all the artifacts, yours was the one we were looking for? I wasn't even hoping for it. But even if I had, why would I tell you that you held the key to the future of humanity in your hands? This was supposed to be my triumph and mine alone. Not Darlin's, definitely not yours. Sorry.
The second Caribbean experiment? What's that?
Without the Alpha, Darlin's work was going nowhere. When he realized he couldn't replicate the artifact artificially, he resorted to drastic measures. He tried to repeat the Caribbean experiment. It was our first contact with the noosphere, even before the zone came into being. That's when the first Alpha artifact appeared. I told him it was too risky, but our golden boy was willing to risk the entire world in the name of science. So how did it feel when all that progress came crashing down on your own doorstep?
My home was destroyed because of Darlin's experiment? And you knew about it the whole time?
What? Darlin failed to mention any outside events, and Korshunov conveniently left out who was responsible for your wild goose chase around the zone. Yes, Skif, I've been aware of this all along. And so have they. Every asshole in this place has an agenda of their own. At least I tried to help you. I warned you about the attack, remember? But that doesn't matter anymore, and I'm running out of time. I've reconfigured the bubble. It'll take you back to SIRCAA. Then you can tell Darlin what you think about the price he paid for progress.
So Herman took a massive risk telling Skif the truth here, and he's obviously not in Darlin's list of allies at the minute either. So we now know two things. One, Darlin is responsible for destroying Skif's home, and two, it's actually Herman who is responsible for delivering the Alpha artifact to SIRCAA. Obviously Skif helped, but ultimately it was Professor Herman's project. So is Darlin taking credit for Herman's work here? But we do decide to head to the penthouse for one more night, as I've had a long day and we don't really want to talk or see Darlin's face right now. So Skif gets himself a well-earned rest. Skif could now continue his task of finding out if the Wish Granter is in fact in SIRCAA. But first, he must meet Darlin. But if you want to find out what happens with that, tune in to episode 9 of my S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 series.